Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the situation report or the SITREP or the summary for the day of 862 for the 4th of July. And it's still 4th of July in America as per this recording. So happy Independence Day to the Americans. And so we're going to start off with some frontline changes report. There's only three over at Pivnishne, Novo-Alexandrivka, and Krasnohorivka. Then after that, we'll go into the strategic and tactical reporting of the individual fronts, going clockwise direction from starting from Kharkiv. So we're going to start off with Pivnishne. So there is video footage coming out from Pivnishne in the New York front in the battle in the New York offensive. Ukrainian, or not sure if that's Ukrainian or Russian soldier, basically being geolocated around these buildings, firing their assault rifle out of the building. I'm not sure. I don't even think he's aiming. So basically, that shows Ukrainian presence in this high-rise building region. So it's unclear what is the disposition of the troops right now in this area. So this is going to be a gray zone. The Ukrainian mapping will extend inwards into most of these high-rise building, showing Ukrainian presence around here, and the Russians will be contesting all these high-rise building with the Ukrainians right now. So this is the front line change over at this area here at the New York front. This is Toretsk, Shumi, Zalizne, and Pivnishne. So we'll continue. The next frontline change is over at Novo-Alexandrivka. So over at the Adiyevka front, so this Adiyevka city in the northern part of the Adiyevka front, Russian forces expanded their control over at Novo-Alexandrivka, taking the full tree line on the southwestern part of Novo-Alexandrivka. So this is a slow progress around here as they move in the direction of Lozovatsky, which is over here. So this is the frontline change over at this area. The last frontline change is over at Krasnohorivka. Over at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, there is based on Ukrainian mapping, Deep State US mapping, Russian forces have taken further control of this western neighborhood, a residential neighborhood just next to the Central Park area. In this area, they have captured more grounds around here. So this is the frontline changes report. Krasnohorivka is in the Donetsk front, so Donetsk city is there. So yeah, I'm not feeling particularly well. Not sure what did I do. Maybe not enough water or something. I'm not sure. Or caught some virus, whatever it is. No, pardon my voice. So we're gonna go into the Kharkiv front. So over the Kharkiv front, the fighting continues in multiple sectors. Over at this sector here, some say this is called the Zolokiv sector, based on this major city. I mean, you can, but it's a bit far. So this is a Sonitsky Kozachok. They're still fighting around there. Russian forces are still fighting in the area of the Lipsy sector, in the Kushne, and also in the area of Voschansk. So this is still ongoing. So going to the front line, the Russian forces have basically captured the Sonitsky Kozachok. As much as it is, Deep State UA continued. This was reported by Deep State UA. Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that there is fighting in the Sonitsky Kozachok. So the Russians are expanding their control. They are indeed trying to fight out of this location. Unsure how the Ukrainians will be dealing with this. We will just continue to wait for more frontline changes to see how extensive is this offensive, or is just the Ukrainians failing to deal with a small squad of DRGs, recon forces. So because this is just next to the border, so it's easy to lose this kind of village. So moving on, over at the Lipsy sector, Russian forces are fighting in the area of Klipoke as well as Lipsy. So this is still ongoing. There's not much updates regarding this area here. Nekushny sector, there's also fighting around this area. Shelling is reported at Vasile, just in the rear position of Nekushny. There's also a lot of other shelling reports by the Russian Defense Ministry. I have decided to omit them because it doesn't really make any difference. So in terms of the reporting, who knows, it's just one airstrike or a few artillery strike. That would be too little to really matter. So I just decided to drop off to make the mapping cleaner. and easier to understand. So there is an airstrike on Ukrainian forces over at this tree line here. So the Russians are indeed still putting pressure on the Ukrainians around the Zeleny region. We move on. Over at the Voschansk region, Russian forces are still fighting in Voschansk city. The battle continues. Geolocation of artillery hitting Ukrainian forces clearly show Ukrainians are still in the area. There is also another FPV drone strike on Ukrainian position in Vilcha. So that's about it in this Battle of Voschansk. Still ongoing, quite much of a grind. Moving into the Kupiansk battle of the Kupiansk front, Russian forces continue their fighting in the Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and Stepova Novoselivka. And so nothing particularly interesting coming out from this area. Geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting shelled by Russian artillery at Petropavlivka. So that's about it from the Kupiansk front. At the Sviatove front, there is a bit more things, pretty much similar though, as the Makivka, Krakivka, and Makievka. There is fighting reported along these areas here. No breakthroughs, so nothing much to talk about. We move on. Over at the Crimea front, Russian forces are attacking in the area of Terny. They are attacking Toske. They are attacking at Dibrova, and that's about it. And we move on down south to the Sivas front. At the Sivas front, Russians reported shelling at Serebryanka. They are attacking at Velkomokanyamsky, Sperne, and Vimka. So the reports coming from Ukrainian Defense Ministry and Russian Defense Ministry, there's various reports. So this is a compilation of all the different things. If you want to know the sources, where the information come from, this map is accessible. You can find it in the description below. The link is towards the Defense Politics Asia's website on the Ukraine page. You'll be able to find this map, and then you can actually look at the sources yourself and fact check me. So, and move on. Over at the northern flank of the Bakhmut front, the Russian forces are attacking in the direction of Minkivka and also attacking Krychorivka region. So there is all this fighting, but we do not know what's exactly happening. So we move on. Further south, in the central region, Russian forces are fighting in the area of Kalinina and Chasivya. So Chasivya, of course, is a blanket term. We're not sure exactly where the offensive come from. Over in the southern flank, we have some fighting reported at Klishevka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, but that's about it. We're not exactly sure as well where the fighting exactly is, because Klishevka is rather, the front line is rather big, so it could be anywhere. So let's move on. Over the Battle of New York, or rather New York front. At the New York front, the Russian forces are still attacking in Druzhba, in the Pivnishny region, shelling at Torex, as well as fighting at Yurivka and New York. So the offensive is still ongoing. There is the people start to accept that Russians are indeed in New York. And according to Ryba, there is fighting reported in the outskirts of Yurivka. So Russian forces are attacking in this area here towards New York. This is still a big surprise to me. It just don't make sense how they suddenly appear here. And over in this Torres sector, Russian forces are battling the Ukrainians over in this high-rise zone. Some say this is a citadel. I'm not exactly sure this is citadel-ish or not. It doesn't look, a little bit, but no, yeah, this is a high-rise building zone. So Russian forces are attacking at Druzhba region. They are trying to storm out into Pivnishny. Overcoming the high-rise building will be essential. There is a thermal barrack and artillery shelling over in the forest, which means the Ukrainians are still holding position in the forest region. So Ukrainians are still holding positions around here, and they most likely are in the buildings. They are on the counter against the Russians. The Russians are definitely in the high-rise building zone as well. So this shelling, so you can see the tactical situation around here. Ukrainians' position is not lost. If the Ukrainians are able to effectively counter through the forest, they can actually pincer the Russian forces and take back all these very forward positions. that the Russians are taking. So it's not all lost yet. The Ukrainians still can fight if they have the troops around here. We move into the northern flank of the Avdiivka front, and a lot of icons, as you can see, it looks like the Russians are putting attention back into the northern part of the Avdiivka front. Fighting reported at Vodyzenka, Novo-Alexandrivka towards Luzovatsky, towards Belgrade, at Yekhanivka, out from Voshchod. In the area of Sokil, the Russian mappings, because they're still lagging behind the Ukrainian mapping, they're still talking about fighting in the area of Sokil. And there's also reported fighting in the area of Kalinove, so which is here. So yeah, but I think the main direction is still pretty much in the direction towards Pokrov. So this is still the main push in my opinion. And moving south in the southern part, Russian forces are attacking in the area of Novoselivka, Persia, Yasnobrodivka. Ukrainian forces are still counter-attacking, despite the Russian claims to have taken most of the settlement. Russian forces are attacking Kharkivka pretty much head-on, according to pro-Russian sources. They say that this is a frontal attack. So this is a very head-on attack. Mainly because they do not have enough manpower, so they can't really do some tactical plays around here, and which is also why I was initially pretty surprised that they continue on into Kharkivka, because they don't have to. Holding the water lines is perfectly fine, you see. So yeah, they can just be a bird, they just can be a seagull. They don't have to be something else, just be who you are. Love yourself is okay. Don't be affected by society saying that you need Kharkivka, and then turn you into some ugly monster. You don't have to do that. Just be a seagull. It's perfectly fine. So and we move on. There is some fighting reported in Nevelsky. So not exactly sure what the hell is happening around here. So that's all for it. Over at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, as mentioned, Russian forces have taken a bit more grounds around here as they continue their offensive in the city. And probably coming from the east as well. There is some rumors from pro-Russian sources claiming that the Ukrainians have redrawing the main force in Krasnohorivka, and they are preparing for tactical withdrawal. I'm not sure. Yeah, usually this kind of information tends to be very inaccurate. So just take it with a bucket of salt. Make sure you have enough to make kimchi. Then that's the correct amount of salt. So then there is some battles in the area of Georgievka, reported by the Russian Defense Ministry and both the Russian sources. It's unclear what the hell is happening as well, so we shall wait and see. Ukrainian mapping basically draws the entire area here as gray zone. This area, they put it as under Ukrainian control, so it can be anything. It can be anything you want it to be. There is still fighting reported in the area of Paraskovievka. The Russians clearly did not fully capture the settlement, so yeah, it is what it is. Moving south, Russian forces are pushing towards the direction of Vodian. This is ongoing as usual. Prashestivka got geolocated to be attacked by air strikes and helicopter strikes. So there is some intensification of the strikes at Prashestivka. So yeah, not sure exactly what's happening. Did the Ukrainians try to gather forces around here to do an offensive operation or counter-offensive operation? Why does it attract so much attention? I'm not sure. Over in the Velika Novosilka sector, Russian forces are attacking in Uruzaine, and they are now pushing towards Makarivka from Staromayorsky. So this is a continuation of the operation that we have already been seeing, so nothing special about that. Over at the Zaporizhia front, Zaporizhia front, over at the Orikhiv sector, actually I need to do it like this. Okay, never mind. So Russian forces are attacking in Mala Tomashka, in the Vobove region, in the Robotine region, at Nastryanka and Zerbianki. So Russian forces actions or operations in the Zaporizhia front, particularly in the Orikhiv sector, seems to be increasing a little bit. But but we still need to continue to monitor. Maybe they're just probing, and eventually they may do a major offensive to retake the grounds that they have lost to the Ukrainians during the Ukrainian counteroffensive. So moving into the Kherson front. At the Kherson front, there is shelling reported at Tokarivka, according to the Russians. And Krinky is back in business. Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported that the Russians attacked Krinky twice. So this Krinky continues to remain in play. Unbelievable. So, happy times. So that's it for Kherson front. And that's about it. So this is the situation report for the day of 862 for the 4th of July. So stay safe for the Americans, because a lot of gunfire and whatnot. So, but take care. Thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.